growth, better salaries, flexible work hours have become the most common, if not one of the reasons for employees to think about like quitting their current jobs since the pandemic. Can like someone like continue with stagnancy and not much growth opportunities? If yes, then how?
Yeah, I think one part is that when you are looking at changing jobs, right? You had asked that question earlier also. When do you look
Mhm.
at moving jobs? I would say the most important is when the
Mhm.
learning is stopping. That is the only criteria that you should use. A lot of people these days
Mhm.
look at money and they look at designations or company name. For me, when I'm ranking these all, I would put learning as the number one. So if I am not learning something new every day, then it's time for me to move. If I'm not being challenged or pushed every day, it's time
Mhm.
for me to move. Now coming to the earning part, a lot of people prioritize that, especially
Mhm.
early in their careers, because earning
Mhm.
becomes extremely important. But if you keep moving very fast, you won't learn much, because there's you need certain amount of time to be able to pick
Mhm.
up some skills. I remember I volunteered with one company, and they were having a lot of problems, and I did a
Mhm.
consulting assignment completely free of cost, but just to learn. And guess what? After many years, I just was doing that for a living. And now the only thing in this would be that how will the boss react if you go and spoke to another senior manager outside in the organization? That would be the only
Mhm.
bit you need to be careful about.
So, is there a moment in the lives of senior leaders where they feel that they are the top of the game, everything is running smooth and perfect, and they need to find the next game where they can like challenge themselves? Else, so how should senior leaders think before they start finding a new role?
So I think when you're doing really well in something, that's the time we should start thinking about
Mhm.
what next, because you're already
Mhm.
on top of your game. And then you should also think about what risks can I take in life. Example, from a career point of view, what should I do next? I've already seen it. I think the key will always be that can you find something which is meaningful and purposeful, but also which is challenging you to get into a territory which is out of your comfort zone. So if you're doing very well, and obviously you're in a comfort zone. I was recently coaching a person who's doing a 30-year-old doing extremely well, and now that person says, "Look, I'm planning to quit my job, and I'm going to prepare to get into a FANG company." And I asked him, I said, "Why do you have to quit your job? Why can't you do it along with it?" So he said, "Look, I don't get the time in my job." So people are thinking that way. Then I said, "Look, you have a great job. You have a good, everything's good is happening for you. Why do you want to change? Why do you want to do this?" So I think you just have to become clear that you're not doing it out
Mhm.
of compulsion, because that could also be a trap that you're just forced to do something.
What are the false signs that we think are the signs for us to quit the job?
So sometimes when we take these decisions based on what other people are saying, I think more often than not, it's wrong. The other false sign could be that, you know, um, you are feeling frustrated in your job, and the reasons could be any. But how do you figure out a way out of that rather than running away from the problem? I think that is very important. And yes, if you've tried to do various things and if it's not working out, then you can. But I think the other bit could be, a lot of times we pick up these jobs that come our way.
Mhm.
And I realized this after making a couple of job moves where, I just picked up a job because something came to me and I got a job. So you shouldn't be taking up every job that comes your way. It may not be right for you. It's always better that you go and do your homework, understand the role, the organization, the people before you move.